Now, just like using the styles will enable us to populate the table of contents automatically, if we want to do the same with our lists of figures and lists of tables, then we need to use the captioning tool to automate the labelling of those figures and tables. So in this particular document, I've already got some labels just written in normal text underneath the images, but this will work equally as well if you don't have the labels in there automatically. The only difference will be that you need to select the image before you do this, rather than clicking your insert point in front of the label. To add the caption, we go to the References ribbon and choose Insert Caption. This particular one has defaulted to thinking it's a table, but I need this to be a figure, so I'm going to switch that on the label there to be a figure. Now, because this is the first time I've done it, sometimes it doesn't automatically pick up the chapter numbering when we want that to be part of the caption. So I'd rather this be figure 1.1 to show it's in chapter 1. So I'm going to switch the numbering, click on the numbering button there and tell it to include the chapter number. By default, it uses the hyphen as a separator. I'm just going to make that into a period. Click OK, click OK again, and that has put the caption in, the label figure 1. And I'm just going to put the space in between to make that look a bit better. Now, I purposely chose the second image in my document to do the first caption on, to show you that it will automatically renumber them. So if I go further up the document to my first image and do exactly the same thing, so click in front of the label in this case, insert caption, it remembers the chapter numbering in there this time. Just click OK, press my spacebar, and you can see that has become figure 1.1, and Nelson Mandela is now 1.2. I'll go down to the other two images in this chapter and just do the same thing again. You'll see that just automates that numbering. Now this has automatically made this text now caption style. That happened automatically when I used the insert caption feature. I didn't need to set that. Now there is another captioning style within this document called Caption Extra. This is there specifically for if anybody needs to put additional information into their caption that they don't want to appear in the list of figures or list of tables. So if, for example, I needed to have some citation information here, or sometimes in scientific theses, then they have really long captions, but only the first bit wants to appear in the table itself, then you can just click at the end and go onto a new line. This will only work by having the text on a new line, unfortunately, but it's better than having the whole block of information appearing in your table of figures. And say I was putting some captioning information in here, I'll put image from Smith 2010. Okay. If I then apply the caption extra style to it, that will automatically make it look the same as the caption text. And the only thing you need to do then is remove this extra space in between. That space is after space. So it needs to go, it needs to be the first line of the caption that you edit. So I'm just clicking back up to where it says on the line with the figure, going to the layout ribbon here, and I'm just going to remove this spacing after, so making that down to 0. So now when I populate the table of figures, only the first line of that caption will appear in it. So the other thing we might need to caption is the table, which I think is about there. Yes, there we go. So for this one, I haven't already got a label in it. So I'm just going to click anywhere inside the table. Go back to my references ribbon, insert caption. This time I need to tell it it's a table. Again, because it's the first table I've done, I'm just going to tell it that the numbering needs to include the chapter numbering and that it's a period. This time I'm going to type the data, the label directly into the caption box here. So I have no idea what this actually says, it's all in Latin. So I'm just going to put incomprehensible data, if I can spell. There we go. And that has put that label above the table, as is the academic convention. You have your tables labelled above and your figures labelled below, and this does that automatically for you. Now, if you are going to be doing a lot of tables, or say lots of Excel charts or something like that, then you might want to consider setting up an auto caption for this. If I go back to the Insert Caption dialog box and click on the Auto Caption feature at the bottom, this allows me to check things that I regularly am going to bring into the document. Unfortunately, it hasn't been updated for many years, and it doesn't have things like PNG images and that sort of thing, so it won't do those automatically. But if you're doing lots of tables, it does very usefully have Microsoft Word table, which I can click there, and you'll see that's automatically using the label table. If I wanted to bring in Excel charts, I can do that, and you see that's automatically going to use a figure. If I was doing an Excel worksheet, it thinks I should use figure, but I can change that to be table. So you can set this for the things that are in this list. Click OK. Nothing appears to have happened. But now, if I go and insert another table, I'll just find a space where I can put one between a couple of paragraphs. There will do. I'll just create a new line and go to Insert Table. I'll just pop a basic table in. You can see what's happened is that table label has appeared automatically. So then all I need to do is go and type my label in. I'm not going to put anything in this, so I'm just going to put invisible data. So that can speed things up a little bit. Now I will look at how to update the table of figures and the table of tables when we come to bring all of the chapter documents into the overall thesis template.